Hello, it's Gordon here, and this Facebook Live I've called It's No Good Howling at the Moon, because it was a super blood wolf moon last night, or this morning. A super moon where the moon is one of its closest points to the Earth, and there was a lunar eclipse, so it gets a nice red tinge. That's why you get the super blood moon. And the wolf moon, well, every full moon is called something, so I haven't actually yet found out why it's called a wolf moon. But anyway, I got up to see it. The best bit was about 5 o'clock here in the UK, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I knew the forecast was for a clear sky. And often here in the UK, in the southeast of the UK, when you get one of these events, it's cloudy. So when there's a clear sky, I think, right, I'm going to make the effort to get up. And that's my choice, isn't it? Whether to make the effort to get up or stay in bed and then afterwards think, I wish I had got up. And over the years, I've realised that the more and more times I think, oh, I can't be bothered to do something, afterwards, I wish I had. So I've got better at deciding and forcing myself to do something. And then afterwards, I tend to think, yes, I'm glad I did. So I also knew it was going to be cold because it is January, obviously, and it's cold. And I knew the weather forecast said it's going to be well below freezing. And I had thought of a couple of places that I might drive to go and get a nice view away from the houses and the towns and the lights, to get a nice view and set up my tripod and see if I can take some pictures. But I remembered from the super blood moon that I got pictures of back in 2015 that my equipment is not quite good enough to take quite good enough pictures of the moon. So yes, I can take pictures of the moon. You can see it's the moon, and you can see when it's a blood red moon, but it's not one of these pictures that you see everyone else, well, not everyone else, but you see other people share who have got they're either professional photographers or they've got professional equipment, or certainly what I call dedicated camera equipment, shall we say. So they've got a camera and the proper lens, proper equipment for taking nighttime pictures close up of the moon, which I haven't got. So I knew that if I made the effort to go out and drive somewhere, I'd get a nice view of it myself in real life. But photos, maybe I wasn't going to get quite the same as other people do that get better equipment. But that's okay. That's my decision, isn't it? It's no good me looking at other people's pictures afterwards and then thinking, oh, well, I wish I had better equipment. So when I did eventually get up, yes, it was cold. And I looked at the frost on the car window and could see that it was a substantial scraping job to get that clear. It's going to be several minutes worth out in the sub-zero temperatures. And bearing in mind what I knew about my equipment, I just thought I'm not going to, because I also realised that I could see the moon out of the window, which is handy. So that's what I decided to do. And I obviously opened the window, looked out and took the best pictures that I could with the equipment that I had. And I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed looking at it in real life, and I enjoyed looking back at my pictures. But when I come to thinking about sharing the pictures and trying to edit them, they're not as good as I would like them to be. And they don't compare with, as I've mentioned, people who've got better equipment. But that's the point about choices and responsibility for our choices. So when I say it's no good howling at the moon, which is the wolf reference, or barking at the moon, the expression is that it's a pointless exercise. You can bark at the moon all you like, but it's not going to have any effect. You can blame other people. That's not going to have any effect either. It's no one else's fault that I've maybe chosen to not get the better equipment. And I know why I've chosen not to get the better equipment as well. There's mainly two reasons. First reason is there's only the odd occasion when I would actually use it to make it any better than what I've already got, because the camera on my phone is not bad, and for me to invest the money in better, decent equipment, I would need to be taking a lot of pictures of maybe the moon, or maybe pictures at night time, or close up of wildlife, that kind of thing. And because I don't, I then decided that was one of the reasons why I wasn't going to bother investing in the better equipment. And the other reason why I didn't want to invest in the better equipment is because you've got to learn how to use it properly. The whole point of the better equipment is that it isn't just point and click. You've got to learn how to use it. You've got to learn how to get the settings right, the balance and the exposure and the timing and all the rest of it. So if you invest in the better equipment, but then can't be bothered to go on the learning curve to use it properly, you might just as well not bother. So those two reasons combined is why I decided not to bother getting the better equipment. And because I talk about our choices and accepting responsibility for our choices, I do accept responsibility for that choice of mine. And it's not an earth-shattering choice, is it? Whether to get a better camera or not, to get better pictures of the moon every now and again. It's not a life-changing decision, is it? So I've just made that decision and I accept it. But when an occasion like this does come along, and I look at my pictures compared to the professionals or people with decent equipment, I get the odd twang thinking, oh, I wish I could take pictures like that. I wish I had the better equipment. Maybe I should have invested. Maybe I should have gone on the learning curve to learn how to use the equipment. But guess what that would be? That would be howling at the moon, wouldn't it? A complete waste of time, energy and effort and focus. When I could actually focus, and this is what I did do, on enjoying it for real myself and not worrying about how good the photos were going to be. Because that's the other point that you can make it actually. Instead of spending all your time thinking, how is this going to look for others in the future after the moment, it's better for me to actually get in the moment and enjoy it for myself there and then, which is what I did. And it is spectacular. When you see the super blood moon in full effect, you get the real, how can I describe this? The real effect of the moon being a globe, because the light is bending around it and you get the dark red and the white of the sunlight hitting it afterwards. Very effective to show that it's a globe rather than it normally looks like a disc, doesn't it, the moon? So yes, in the key areas of life, there's 5 of them: health, wealth, career, relationships and lifestyle. Could it be that you're guilty at howling at the moon? You're guilty at barking at the moon, of blaming others or wishing and just not taking responsibility for your own choices. It's a key self-improvement point, isn't it? Accepting responsibility for our choices. And it's something I cover in my Transform Your Life Now program. You can see that over at transformyourlifenow.com. Let me know what you think. Did you get to see any of the super blood wolf moon last night? Or was it cloudy where you were? Or if it was clear, did you decide to stay in bed rather than getting up in the cold? Did you take any pictures? Let me know. Share the pictures if you've taken any. I'd love to hear what you think of the point and what you made of the super blood wolf moon last night. Right, signing off for now. Hope all is well with you. Wishing you as ever health and happiness. And I'll speak to you again soon.